Welcome. NOAA has just released its February of 2023 climate report, and this video is a brief description of that report. Overall, February was the fourth hottest February on record. North America, it was the 17th hottest, South America the 13th, Europe the 2nd, Asia the 7th, and Africa the 4th. We had unusually heavy rain in California and also in Indonesia. Here I show a percentiles map of the globe showing where the record highs and record lows are. Record highs are indicated by dark red, and you see there are quite a few pixels that are in that color. Record lows are indicated by dark blue, and there are no pixels with dark blue. However, most of the globe is either warmer than average or much warmer than average. This shows that the globe is overall still warming. The interesting feature is here in the Pacific Ocean. The La Nina that has been dominating the weather pattern for the last several years has basically dissipated, and we're now in ENSO neutral conditions. This is what the picture looked like just in November of this year. You can see there's a large blue patch of cold water off the western coast of South America. That is La Nina. Now that it's gone, that means we're in ENSO neutral conditions. When that turns red, we will have El Nino conditions. To show that La Nina is over, here's a probability chart of the ENSO conditions for the next year or so. Gray indicates ENSO neutral conditions, blue La Nina, and red El Nino. And you can see all the way through June, the most dominant force is going to be ENSO neutral conditions. After that, El Nino starts to take over towards the end of the year. We can look at average temperatures over the last few weeks and months. The daily records show an excess of high temperature records being set, like an average of about 2 to 1. The monthly records show a similar trend. All-time records are a little bit less definitive because there are so few of them, but the last week and the last year both indicate high proportion of high temperatures. Year to date, low temperature records seem to be dominating, at least for the time being. Here is a plot of the temperature anomaly for February going all the way back to 1850. And you can see that this most recent February is the fourth warmest on record, and the last few years have all been basically record highs. Let's not ignore the upper atmosphere. Here are the results from the UAH analysis of the mid-troposphere. And you can see that the last month the temperature went up slightly to above average. Note that the overall trend is upwards. Often people say that the satellite data show no trend. There is a distinct trend, and it's about 0.17 or 18 degrees centigrade per decade. And the thing to note is that the average here is measured from 1991 to 2020. That contains 26 of the 30 hottest years. So the average is falsely high during this period. So this small increase of 0.8 degrees centigrade above average is actually a very large increase over the average before. Now, these are not surface temperatures. These temperatures are measured around an average of about 4 kilometers up in the atmosphere. So don't confuse this with surface temperatures. Well, one of the major questions is the Earth still warming? And one of the things you can do is take the temperature data from the various measurements and take out the variability factor of the ENSO cycle. So what I've done is taken the Southern Oscillation Index for this last month, which was 1.8, and found all the months that had a similar oscillation index and plotted their temperature as a function of time. And you can see it shows a distinct warming trend that is continuing even through today. The average trend over this period of time is 0.18 degrees centigrade per decade. Some people like to track snow and ice cover. I don't see very much in it myself, but here it is. This is the Northern Hemisphere snow cover. And you can see over the last 40 years, 50 years, we've had a slow decline of about 0.1 million square kilometers per decade. I would say that's hardly significant. On the other hand, sea ice is disappearing, and it's a significant trend in all hemispheres. In the Northern Hemisphere, we have a strong downward trend, which is mainly from the Arctic, of about 400,000 kilometers per decade. In the southern hemisphere, it's not that big a trend at the moment, but until recently it's actually been an upward trend. So that is actually now beginning to turn down quite sharply, as you can see from the last few years. And that reached a record low in February of 2023. Overall, global sea ice also reached a record low during that month. So global sea ice is in trouble and shrinking rapidly. So what is the effect of ENSO on US weather? We expect, because of the change in the ENSO cycle, that the southern and eastern states will be much above average temperatures for the next few months, and the northwest be below average. As far as rainfall is concerned, the upper tier states will be above average rainfall, and the southern states will be well below average in their rainfall. So what can we conclude from all of this? Certainly the Earth is continuing to warm. Sea ice is losing area at a rate of about 500,000 square kilometers per decade. La Nina is over and done with. ENSO neutral conditions currently prevail for the next few months, and El Nino is likely to establish itself sometime in the autumn. So thank you for tuning in, and so until next time, stay safe and goodbye.